It's time once again for your update from the city of New Hope. Let's chat with the mayor and find out what is new and upcoming in the city. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Morning, Dave. I'm wonderful. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thanks for some
Good.
time this week. We've got a busy week ahead for the city of New Hope. We're going to give you some of the highlights of what's going on. We begin with the council meeting as we record this on Monday. That meeting is tonight. And there's a couple fun things going on at the meeting that you wanted to highlight.
Absolutely. Tonight, we will be presenting the awards for the 2024-2025 New Hope Snowman and Snow Sculpture Contest winners. This is a contest we run over the winter. People are able to make snow sculptures, snowmen, whatever they'd like to do with snow in the city of New Hope, and take photos and submit it. And so we have some great award winners that to present awards to this evening.
They were a little challenged this year with the snow, but some made it
Yeah,
here. So congratulations to them. It was a big effort. You've also got
absolutely.
some Cooper students coming. What are they going to be talking about at the council meeting?
Yep, every year our students from Cooper and Armstrong come and ask permission from the council to host an all-night event. And that will be at the Cooper High School. It's a Relay for Life, and it's in support of cancer survivors and cancer victims. And that's going to be Saturday, May 17th. I've been to this event most years since I've been on council, and to see these youth putting on and putting energy towards something that's so meaningful and has impacted so many people. It's fantastic to see. Always a great event and always an honor to be able to go to. And so I would I would assume the council will make those provisions. They're also extremely respectful of the homeowners in the area. There's no amplified sound after a
Hmm.
particular time, and the students are all very very well behaved. So it's an incredible event and one that I will absolutely be supporting.
Very good. And hope residents can support that as well. The final note from the council meeting tonight is going to be a little talk about the swim club. Great partnership there with the city.
Absolutely. The New Hope Crystal Plymouth Swim Club rents space from us for swim practice and for meets. And we look forward to continuing to work with them as they progress through their season this year.
Let's now talk about some items in community development, a handful of things coming up. First is Planning Commission going to be looking at a possible new building popping up in one of the cemeteries in the community. Give us some of those details.
Yeah, Gethsemane has asked for a conditional use permit to expand a storage facility on the southeast corner of their property. Gethsemane has been a very good uh, community citizen, and as they move forward and they find out they need more space to store things, uh, whether it be snow removal equipment or lawn equipment or whatever, we want to be able to make sure we work with them. One of the things that has to happen is the planning commission has to go through and make sure that all of their requests meet city code. And this is where we utilize our commissions heavily. And great group of residents on this commission, along with our CAC and our Human Rights Commission. These are people that are donating their time to the city to make sure that the city stays in great shape. So all of these all these commissions, excuse me, are advisory to the council. So I look very heavily on what their findings are, and we'll actually meet with the members before the council meeting to hear them out. So we appreciate their work.
Another note in community development, they're working hard on a application for an award that has to do with sustainability. And you've probably heard a lot about this in the city of New Hope. Give us a little preview of that application. And I know there's a special project this is tied to.
You bet. The stormwater specialist, Nick Macklem, has prepared an application for the 2025 League of Minnesota Cities Green Step City Sustainability Award. The award is given to one city that has implemented a project, program, or initiative that's helping the city achieve its sustainability goals. The project that we are working off of is the Meadow Lake Management Plan, which includes the coordination and implementation of the lake drawdown, invasive species control, and an in-lake alum treatment. The winner will be announced at the League of Minnesota Cities Conference on June 25th through the 27th in Duluth, and I will be there representing the city at that event.
All right, best of luck to the city. Curbside appeal. We've got another resident that has joined the fun and doing some work outside the home.
Absolutely. We had an application that was approved last week for 4948 Yukon Avenue North, and that homeowner is going to be installing decorative stone facade to the front of the house. The renderings look great. Exciting to see more of our residents taking the opportunity to really bring better curbside appeal to their residents, and it beautifies the city. So we're excited to be a part of this project with this homeowner.
One note to pass along in scattered site. We've got one home on 5437 Virginia to talk about. We've got a photo to show you here of the progress as it's moving along. And this is another great sign, Mayor, of how this program works and what a difference it makes to the community.
Absolutely. There was a temporary certificate of occupancy that has been issued to 5437 Virginia Avenue North. The driveway and the sod will be coming in the coming weeks, along with an additional 15 arborvitae trees to be installed or planted on the west property line. The close of the home has already occurred, and the home sold for $599,000. When the city bought this property, the assessed value was just over $260,000. It was actually $260,600. So through this program, we were able to get a home that was in poor shape, and we were able to tear down that home, prep the land, sell that to a builder, and then this builder comes in, and we now will have a taxable property at just under $600,000. So this helps bolster the tax rolls, and money from the Community Development Block Grant Fund is being used for the scattered site housing purchases. So this is grant money we're buying the homes with, and we are increasing our tax base exponentially over the years. So we're excited about that.
Next item coming up for your calendar is the Business Networking Group, part of Community Development, working with the business owners in the area. They've got a meeting coming up at New Hope City Hall. Give us some of those details.
Correct. On May 7th at 2 p.m., the Sun Post is going to be putting on the meeting, and it's going to be hosted at New Hope City Hall, as you mentioned. And this is a meeting where local businesses get together and really work together to support each other, to talk about trends, to see what's happening. And I get to the vast majority of these. It's always interesting listening to our business owners as well as finding out what's happening in the city. So great way to network with those folks.
And you do see a few business cards changing hand at those meetings as well. So that's great to see. Business use
Absolutely.
certificate of occupancy permits. We've got a few businesses that are going to be doing some things in the area. Tell us about those.
Yeah, this is part of our permits and inspections department. Grand Quartz at 9421 Science Center Drive is a retail distribution of stone and concrete tools. And Flynn Midwest LP at 3109 Louisiana Avenue North is a roofing and sheet metal contractor for job site installation. These are two businesses that have come to New Hope, and we welcome them as our business business citizens.
And a few businesses doing some work inside their businesses. So existing ones wanting to keep up with the latest. What are some businesses doing these days?
You bet. Mixty, the business Mixty at 5100 Highway 169 has submitted building plans for a remodel. And so our permitting and inspections department is going over that. They're also going over plans for a remodel at Hammernick Flooring, and a business that I've been to numerous times. They do a great job, and they're located at 9449 Science Center Drive. And plans were also submitted by Process Display for a large remodel, and they're at 7109 31st Avenue North. So it's nice to see these businesses choosing to stay in the city of New Hope and just building out and remodeling to make sure that they can be in a great location as well as meet their business needs. So our teams work with them to do that.
So there is your community development update. As you can see, a lot happening in that
Yeah.
department, also a lot happening in other departments. So let's run through a few. First is police, and there was a state conference held recently with a little known group of New Hope people involved in a neat program. What is that program?
it- that's the explorers, and they're the police explorers. They're youth ages 14 to 21, and these are people that are interested in possibly a career in law enforcement, but just interested in law enforcement. And this is a tri-city group, and it's made up of youth from Robbinsdale, Crystal, and New Hope. And there was the annual conference down in Rochester, and officers Larson and Michael from the New Hope Police Department attended the Explorer Conference as chaperones and went down. Our teams did very well as they were going through scenario-based training and scenario-based competition. And so was a great group to have, great way to possibly build law enforcement ranks, but certainly give youth positive alternatives in what to do with time.
One other note in police, we want to touch base on the number of responses by the police department over the last week. What did we see, Mayor?
We saw a pretty significant increase in police-related incidents. Between April 17th and April 23rd, we had 493 police incidents. Now that's up a fair amount from last week,
Mhm.
but keeping in mind when we did our updates the last couple of weeks, we said those numbers were way down.
Right.
So this number is keeping really right in line with what we expect for this time of year. And looking at year over year, this particular week, we're right in line with where we expect to be. Our staffing levels are solid, and plans to address things in the community are well in hand with our police department.
Let's hop ahead to Public Works. They are busy doing a lot of work around the city in many different areas, and they also partner with Park and Rec quite a bit. So this is a busy time for them with fields and parks. What do they do out there?
Absolutely. They are responsible for all maintenance in our city parks.
Mhm.
And we have over 200 acres of green space on top of our city parks. And our city parks, we have 18 of those. So right now they're busy prepping ball fields, painting soccer lines, and making sure all of our park equipment is in good shape and safe for use. Our teams also went up to St. Cloud to the St. Cloud Driving School right across from the prison, where they have a very large driving facility where all of our police and firefighters go up to train for emergency vehicle response, as well as doing the the pursuit intervention technique training. And they have a big area up there where they do plow truck training.
Okay.
So our drivers need to know how to operate those very large rigs. Well, they're also busy with the spring street sweeping. So if people can remember to keep their cars off the street this week, that would be great. And with that comes hauling away all the debris that gets
Mhm.
swept up.
Very true. All right. And final note in Public Works, let's talk about the water tower. We've been prepping this quite a few weeks here, and now we've got actually three things that are happening all together this week. What's going on around the water towers?
You bet. We're obtaining electrical quotes for work that's taking place at both of our water towers. We are preparing the area around the South Water Tower in preparation for the painting coming up soon. And we have drained all of the water out of the Medicine Lake Water Tower. And with that comes the monitoring of water pressures throughout the city and throughout the Joint Water Commission area. And the cities of Crystal, Golden Valley, and New Hope are part of the Joint Water Commission. And our South Water Tower is one of the main hubs that impacts all three of the cities. So there's a great deal of planning and preparation that went into taking this tower offline. And so far, so good. We haven't had any challenges or problems, and people are not seeing decreased water pressures.
That's
So
great. Let's hope it continues that way. One final Public Works note is the street infrastructure project. And again, this is one of our advance notice to let people know again that this is coming. What's the area of concentration this year?
absolutely. The area of concentration is between Boone and Winnetka, north of Northwood Park, and south of 40th Avenue North. So that area is having a great deal of street maintenance, and that's mill and overlay and reclamation of roads. So there aren't any full reconstructions. So that's good news because when residents go through that, um, boy, they have a heck of a mess on their hands for several
Mhm.
weeks. So there was a pre-construction meeting with the contractor Northwest Asphalt, and actually that's happening this week. And they're working out the logistics and schedule for it. Where they are also working on the plans to get residents notified when their streets are going to be milled and overlaid and what they can expect. So a lot of work going on for that.
Let's move over to Park and Recreation. A lot of activity here with the spring now here and summer coming soon. First, we want to start out with an activity for some of the older participants in Park and Recreation. It sounds like they had a fun trip, Mayor.
They absolutely did. The community tripsters took a trip last week to Skyrock Farms to tour the Skyrock Carousel building and enjoy lunch and a horse show, and that was in Hamel. So this tripster group goes out and does field trips and goes out and sees a lot of fun and neat things. A great activity and great series of activities for those that have the time during the day to do those.
Here's some information about an event that's coming up as well, and Park and Rec staff working hard to get ready. This is the Bike Rodeo, a great annual event.
Absolutely. Our bike rodeo is put on between the cities of Robbinsdale, Crystal, New Hope, and Golden Valley. And it's going to be Thursday, May 1st at between 6 and 8 p.m. It'll be at the Golden Valley City Hall. It's their turn to host it this year.
Mhm.
And at this bike rodeo, you can get your bike helmet checked for proper fitting. You can get your bicycle checked for safety. You can navigate your bike through a safety skills course that's supervised by police and fire personnel. You can enter into the door prizes to win a new bike. And of course, there will be refreshments provided by the West Metro VFW, post number 7051.
Fantastic community event. Here's another great event that is coming soon. A lot of anticipation for this. It's the return of the farmers market. What are they busy doing right now to get ready?
They are continuing to go through the applications. They are applying for grants. They are recruiting new vendors, and they are getting the site set for this. That will be on Thursday, starting June 15th, between 3 and 7 p.m. And it will be at the New Hope Church at 42nd and Gettysburg, 42nd and Highway 169.
Mhm.
So we're ecstatic to get this up and running and get this back open to our residents and visitors.
We talked earlier about Public Works doing a lot of work on the ball fields, and now Park and Rec is going to put it to use because the first game is about to hit at Lighted Field.
Yep, yeah, I'll tell you the first real sign of summer.
Yeah.
The lighted baseball field will be used Tuesday for the Armstrong Cooper uh, baseball, and they will be up against the Minnetonka White. So we're happy to have that up and running. The field looks great. Hoping that all of this rain doesn't cause too much havoc to
Right.
it, but we're looking forward to get that rolling.
Another note in Park and Rec, we talked about the Adopt a Park program recently, and the city did a push for that. And as New Hope residents always do, they responded. So we've got some parks being adopted.
You know, that is so typical of New Hope. You know, you put out a call for help and people jump to it. It's just wonderful.
Mhm.
Uh, we are working, we had put out some information that we had some parks that weren't yet adopted. And three of the parks on the list that were unadopted are now adopted. So the city's working on obtaining signage to recognize the work of the new groups. So we're ecstatic to have them be a part of this and help the city.
Final note in Park and Rec, let's head to the golf course because this beautiful past weekend really showed people that it's time to golf, and now it looks like it's full steam ahead at the course.
Absolutely. Golf course was open all weekend, packed this weekend, even with an overcast day. People were still out swinging sticks, and the patio was rented from 1 to 5 for a picnic. So that's
Mhm.
a ton of fun. Summer golf leagues start this week with morning leagues Monday through Thursday and evening leagues Monday through Friday. The irrigation system has been turned on, so we are
Right.
we are full steam ahead. So, and there is the upcoming uh, plant sale
Yeah.
that is done every single year, and preparations are underway for that upcoming plant sale.
All right. We'll keep you up to date on that. Let's hop to human resources. One note here with some interviewing going on related to the police department. Give us some of those thoughts.
You bet. Captain Scott Slauson has announced his retirement and will be leaving the department in last part of June. Um, Succession planning is essential for any sort of great leadership. And Chief Hoyt has ensured that he has had succession planning in mind through his administration. And we had 4 internal candidates that were certified by the personnel board to move on in the process. And this shows that they are preparing people for the next step in the progression through the department. And those interviews, the next interviews, which are final interviews, will be with the chief of police and the city manager, and those are happening today on Monday.
Final notes to pass along. A lot going on the city's website and social media. So here's a few things that have happened and are coming up. Again, we mentioned the bike rodeo coming up on May 1st, Golden Valley City Hall. Also, special materials drop off that occurred. And Mayor, I understand, great response as always.
You know, people want to get rid of stuff,
Yes.
and that's fantastic. We provided this opportunity. It was last Saturday, and it was well attended, and a lot of people got rid of a lot of stuff. And so that's great. We can't every year send trucks out around throughout the entire city. That is just too costly. But hosting these special material drop-off days is our way to help combat that. So that's absolutely wonderful.
Another note you saw on social media possibly is that there's going to be some green and white trucks throughout the city. Also, maybe some things in the sky to watch for. And they're there for a very good purpose at this time of the year. What is that?
Absolutely. The Metropolitan Mosquito Control District will be out in trucks using drones, helicopters, staff on bike and on foot, and they're going to be working to reduce mosquito-borne disease and the annoyance of mosquitoes.
Mhm.
You will notice green or white trucks displaying the MMCD logo, and their staff can be on bicycle or foot, and they'll all be wearing brightly colored green mosquito control vests.
Good to know. All right, here's a couple other dates for your calendar, a few weeks off. First is Friday, the 16th of May. Some police officers on the roof of a building for a very good cause. What happens
Absolutely.
each year?
Absolutely. Every year, Dunkin', which used to be known as Dunkin' Donuts, is hosts an event where they put some cops up on the roof, and people can come and donate money to the Special Olympics for Minnesota. And what happens is people go out to the building, they lower down a bucket, you put the money in the bucket, and they raise it back up. Great way
Mhm.
to have our officers engage, as well as, really help support the so important work of Special Olympics, and a great way for people to be able to support and do this as well. So we ask people to come on out Friday,
Yeah.
May 16th between 6 and 11 a.m. And not only donate, but feel free to run in and grab a cup of coffee and a donut.
You bet.
They've got good coffee.
And those officers will have to hurry off the rough because they've got a busy Saturday on the 17th, a Community Police Academy Day. And my guess would be if people are interested, they might have to do some activity right now to get signed up. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The cities of New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale police departments are hosting a full-day community police academy again May 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's at the Crystal Police Department. This free single event is ideal for adults of all ages who um, want to learn what their police department does and how they do it.
Mhm.
And they will sit through presentations by all different aspects of law enforcement, which some of which will include our SWAT team. We share a SWAT team as well, investigations, mental health, canines, our training for our officers, defensive tactics, traffic stops, general patrol, and dispatch information. Um, it's a classroom type setting. Lunches provided, and people of all ages and background, adults are certainly welcome to attend this. Contact your local police department if you're interested. It's a very, very interesting event, and
Mhm.
people walk away knowing a whole lot more as to, on traffic stops, why are there a lot of times two officers? There's a reason for that.
Mhm.
Sometimes why are there four? Find out what our SWAT team capabilities are. Find out how we're investigating crimes, because it's not what you see on TV.
I can imagine. All right, a good opportunity there. And again, newhopemn.gov, the city's website, information about that there. Also, many of the other things we've talked about. We have one final note to pass along, and this is a unique way the city is trying to help out because we've got a picture of a dog who apparently is lost within the city, but you're trying to find the owner, correct?
Yeah, that we found the dog, we've lost the owners.
Okay.
This is an animal that was picked up last week on the 22nd. Beautiful black, appears to be a black lab, believe it's male. I was at City Hall last week and got to see the pup, and great temperament. Unfortunately, there's no chip in the dog, so we can't locate the owner. So what we do in these cases is we take the animal up to PUPS, which is Pets Under Police Supervision, and we hold on to the dog for a specified period of time. If you look at the photo, if you happen to know the owner, we ask that you either tell the owner where the pet is or contact the New Hope Police Department and we'll talk to the owner. Again, this isn't about getting anybody in trouble. This is about reuniting this puppy with their loved ones. And you hate to see these pets go through this.
Yep, sounds great. Hope that works out very well. And again, we want to mention this guide, the city's guide to park and recreation. Yeah. So a lot of opportunities here. It is the season, so get out and look at that to find out more things going on. And stick with us. A look at some of the events coming up in the community in just a second. Mayor Elder, thanks for your time again this week. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Dave.
For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.